Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another set of corru.observer songs. This is going to be fun. It's been a while since I've heard anything from corru, but this is Our Last Stand and Cast Yourself Aside. Apparently, the names are very relevant, but I was given a little bit of context from Jazz, my executive producers, the one who requested this, saying that Alien 9/11 cannot be stopped. Sacrifices will be made, is basically what they said. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting to hear because I don't know anything about corru's story, really. I've just heard a few songs from it, and I have gotten a little bit of detail, but like not enough to really understand what the hell would be going on. So I'm going to hear these songs and at least do my best to theorize about them a little bit and keep in mind that the names are very relevant to that. So without further ado, let's go. Okay. Immediately into the uncanny hell. Always fun. Detune everything. You know what? It's kind of giving Adult Swim bumper for those who know. Weirdly enough, I'm not getting too much out of this one. I mean, I'm loving the detuning slides and everything, but just like, I don't know what I would theorize. Well, that was something big and intimidating. I mean, it's tastefully heavy. And I love the, like, ambiguous horror feeling, because I'm sure that's the point. It's just unsettling enough. I really love that detuning. It's so well done. All right, it just kind of stops. I wasn't sure if it was going to fade out or what. All right, so again, I'm not entirely sure what to theorize about this one. The title being relevant means that Our Last Stand, something big, intimidating potentially. That's where the second half of the song really started to like latch into my brain. I was like, oh, just like a big aha moment for me. But the detuning and everything is interesting too, because like at first I thought that was just going to be general ambiance and it wasn't going to be anything really too notable. But then I'm like, oh, so this big thing showed up halfway through the song and the entire vibe kind of shifted from it just being ambience to just being, okay, now there's some crazy connection between that and this giant like feeling you got out of the second part when the whole song kind of ballooned into a mass of energy. And I'm like, okay, now this like detuning has somewhere to go. Now I can place that in there. And maybe this detuning is like, it feels like something trying to just like form, you know, like it's just, there's that feeling that in the detuning, how they handled it here, it feels like it's also slowing down. It's like a speed ramp effect, not just a full detune. It's like they're outright modulating the essence of the track instead of just making it a little bit more detuned to make it sound creepy or anything. It's like something is forming in front of you. So it's like what you saw on the screen, that image. It's like that's such a good visual for this because it feels like there is something with a bunch of waves just kind of like bouncing around and trying to like form itself into something. Like something is being actively created on the spot. It's really fucking cool. But I think it's more interesting to me that I couldn't figure out what the song was doing until that aha moment I had where the song grew into something larger than me. And suddenly I felt this like weight disparity between, oh, it's just a song, and oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? It's just, it hits you differently when that half comes in, and it really contextualizes everything there. Of course, I'm not sure if I'm on the right track with any of what I'm saying here. I'm taking a wild shot in the dark, but with how this song had this sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to say abject horror, but definitely this sort of ambiguous horror. It's definitely not something where you're like, you immediately feel a threat, but as the song continues, that's building. Abstract horror is probably a better term for it, but at the same time, that's probably something that I've borrowed from my other experiences with corru.observer, and I don't know if that's like a fully original thought that I'm getting just from the song, more as it is just context clues from the information I do have, because they deal with abstract all the time in this from what I've understood, and this would fit that, so sure, you know, abstract horror. It's a kind of, I don't know if I would call this something like Eldritch adjacent, maybe, but it definitely feels like it because it's something shapeless, formless that I can't quite place my finger on. And that's so interesting to me that this composer is able to make that happen, to make it really feel like something that is lacking a solid form. And of course, they're utilizing things like the pitch bend and speed ramping to make that feel that way. It's just that uncanny valley of music where you're like, ooh, that's not something my brain is ready to comprehend yet. And that kind of goes in line with the Eldritch Abomination sort of storyline. So there's a little bit of psychology going on here, obviously. It's just fascinating to me. I love shit like this because it makes me think a little bit harder than usual, because sometimes you just get people who make music and they're really good at just making it super obvious what the story is about, and that's basically a walk in the park for me. That's an easy day out. But songs like this make it a little bit more difficult to try and nail down what the hell I'm supposed to be thinking or experiencing, especially without any further detail. So what, what's happening here? Alien 9/11 doesn't really give me too much context in this one. Maybe that's what's forming. Maybe Alien 9/11 is some sort of eldritch horror situation. I don't know. It's Alien. It could be anything. But I also need to hear the other song, so I'm going to jump on that one. Ooh. I know these were requested together. I didn't think they would be like... That almost sounded like it was happening immediately after the last one. It might be. A little bit slower, more roomy. Heavier. And like this. That's not staying exactly on key, that's borrowing notes. I kind of wonder if those were blue notes, actually. I'm not confident in what key this song is in, but it might be. There's those pitch bends again. Yeah, so much heavier. See, like, this song sounds like you're walking through molasses compared to the last one. Even in this faster part, just the energy is down. It's so much more thick. Okay, and there it is. It's so jarring when the songs just end like that. All right, so utilizing the title, Cast Yourself Aside. What the hell does that mean with how heavy this version of the song is? It definitely sounded similar to Our Last Stand and then Cast Yourself Aside. If I had to tie those together, given the context that was given to me by Jazz, I'm assuming that the first one was like the preamble and like the building of the boss, like it is forming in space and it's like, oh shit, time to go. And this would be the final battle. That's what it feels like based off of those given ideas from Jazz, helping me out a lot there. But this version had some elements from that first song, definitely differences going on, obviously, but it still felt so much heavier. It felt like there was so much more weight to the situation. The song took its time a little bit more with this one, and it added a little bit more of that tension, having those notes not land perfectly on key, really stepping to the side a little bit. In some cases, probably literally, like I mentioned, blue notes. For those who aren't into music theory, that's basically when you take like a fifth of a scale and you move it down half a step, and it just creates a little bit of a sad step. It's something that's used in jazz all the time, and blues, if you could believe it. So it's just a factor of music theory that is utilized for stuff like this to make it feel a little bit more unsettling. And when you have something this slow, it's much more noticeable and uncanny. Whereas if you have somebody who's playing like jazz piano or something and just really wailing on it, they'll throw in blue notes all the time because it's a little bit of spice to the song, but it feels a little bit more normal in that context. The rest of the chords around it, the rest of the music around it, don't really give you time to process it. And that's why it sounds so off-putting in cases like this, because you're given that time to really hear it and let your ear go, wait a minute, that shouldn't be there. Because even if you don't know music theory, you're gonna know that these differences in the scales just don't line up. You're gonna notice that that didn't feel comforting. It didn't feel like it resolved anywhere, because it didn't. It left itself on a tension, and that's just not something our brains want to hear. It's not something that's normalized in everyday music. So when things like horror movies use it or alien stuff use it a lot, especially in the earlier days of music in Hollywood, used a lot of this exact approach for its alien music because it's something that's just not quite right. It's a little bit different, and they abused music theory to the masses. So now we correlate stuff like this with aliens and the otherworldly. So I would not be shocked here, even more confident now, that this has something to do with some sort of alien eldritch abomination forming itself into the ethos above you and just going, hello bitches, I'm here. And that would explain why Jazz told me that sacrifices will be made and now you must cast yourself aside. It all comes full circle eventually. Just like music theory, everything is a little bit cyclical, and I'm understanding the story a little bit more now, at least from my perspective, despite me not really understanding what the story is. I haven't experienced it, but I'm given enough context between jazz and the music to hopefully be on the right track here. I really hope I'm somewhere in the ballpark. It's very possible I'm not. This happens sometimes where I'll either just fucking big brain this shit and I figure out all the lore through the music, or I'm completely off and everyone's like, hi, you're an idiot. And I'd honestly accept either one. So let me know how close I am, because I always love to hear if I'm like even in the same area, if I'm in the same zip code as the actual intent of the music. But if you have any other songs you want me to get to, of course, drop them in the comments below as well, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if, like Jazz did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, or you can force me to listen to something. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!